presenting in the main I will be presenting the 2023-24 plans for the department, especially here in Nkangala district. But I will start with the alignment. Of course, our projects and programs are aligned within the policies, the national policies, which one of them, the Millennium Development Goals are. I think all of us will know what the Millennium Development Goals are. The National Development Plan, Agriculture Sector Plan, the State of the Nation Address, State of the Provincial Address, the Mpumalanga Infrastructure Master Plan, the Mpumalanga Provincial Growth and Development Strategy, and also the Integrated Food Security Strategy for South Africa. I think in the main, those strategies talks about the eradication of poverty, and as well as creation of jobs, and also ensuring that we improve food security, ensuring that at least most of the households are having food on the table. So the clear priorities and the key strategies focus for this financial year. The following are some of the key main departmental priorities that form the basis of this focus and implementation trajectory areas. One of them is the increased agricultural production, increased land and agrarian reform, increased broader participation in agro-processing and market linkages, and as well as strengthening skills development and capacity building, and hence environmental sustainability. I think as I will be presenting programs, then I think the meeting will then note the alignment of the strategy, of these strategies, and then to the projects that we'll be implementing. This slide talks to the comprehensive support that we are providing as a department, how the priorities are linked to the national development program, as well as the other programs. So it just talks about that, how we are aligned to the creation of jobs, to the elimination of poverty. Then the mandate of the department in terms of the priorities that we are implementing. One, we are ensuring that we are providing our farmers with infrastructure, we are providing our farmers with mechanization, we are providing our farmers with production inputs, we are also rendering training and capacity building, as well as the market linkages. Part of the alignment of our strategies way too is the Greening Mpumalanga initiative. I know for sure that some of our members, they know about the greening of Mpumalanga. This is one of the initiatives that is part of Mpumalanga Economic Recovery Plan. So our responsibility there as a department, but now if you look at the slide, you will see that there are three areas. The greening calm, Hertzbande, it's a vegetable food basket, Ehlanzeni is a fruit basket, and Nkangala is a grain corridor. That is where we are. So I know for sure, I will just try to brief a bit on why Nkangala is a grain corridor. We all know Nkangala, due to its agroecological zones and favorable climatic conditions, including the potential soils, all of them, they are suitable for the production of maize, soya, sunflower, dried beans, vegetable, and livestock. And we started with this initiative last financial year. We started in Dr. J.S. Moroka and Tembisile. In Tembisile, we are targeting 4,029 hectares around Tembisile. And in Dr. J.S. Moroka, we are targeting almost 2,000 hectares. So these projects are implemented through the agro-processing value chain process, which will ensure that products from the primary production is processed through the agro-processing mills and distributed to the Mpumalanga Agri Hub, which will then be delivered to the schools and and other markets. I think this slide then talks about this, what I've already presented in the previous slides. So these are the projects. When I'm talking that we are not implementing projects in isolation. Most of the projects that we are implementing are in line with the Nkangala Grain Corridor agro-processing value chain. Since we have started last financial year, we are moving with the to other municipalities. But in Dr. J.S. Moroka, already we have, I think we've got the Dr. J.S. Moroka producers. Then you go to Tembisile, you've got the grain producers. So we are providing these farmers with the farm infrastructure, mechanization, production inputs, training and capacity building. Already I have indicated with Tembisile that we are targeting 4,029 hectares. We are implementing that project in collaboration with our sister department, the Rural Development, where we have a farmer production support unit and ensuring we are providing the farmers with all the infrastructure that they need. Also, this project is implemented in two farming aspects, which is your production and also the agro-processing part. Then if you look at the arrow there, then there is the agro-processing market. I'm happy our Indaba was already talking about this rice milling. This is one of the agro-processing mill that we supported in Dr. J.S. Moroka at Siabe. We provided the project with machineries, which includes all the machineries for the processing, and we are continuing this financial year. So what these farmers are doing there, these primary producers are the ones that are producing maize, sunflower. They are supporting the rice milling, especially in Dr. J.S. Moroka, with the raw material, so that they are able to process animal feeds, piggery feeds, a lot in feed, if I can put in general feed. But the main challenge, as Ndaba was mentioning, was that we are still starting with the project, and we need a lot of land for us to be able to have a lot of our farmers producing maize or grain, so that they are able to support this mill. And already this mill is supporting, it's having a letter of intent where they are selling this feed to retailers. They are also selling to other areas in other provinces. So then in Tembisile, as I was indicating again, we've got Ipageme maize mill. So these farmers that I mentioned in Tembisile, the 4,229 hectares that we are supporting with infrastructure, we are also supporting this Ipageme maize milling, where we are ensuring we are refurbishing that mill, so that this maize that the farmers are producing around Tembisile, they are taking it to Ipageme, and then from the Ipageme they are taking to the agri-hubs. Unfortunately, the story of agri-hub is a bit complicated in Nkangala, but I will explain in the later stage. And from there, from the agri-hubs, then they go to the schools and the boarding schools, and also the hospitals through the government nutrition program. So the arrow there, it goes to the consumers, which now are your farmers again. These farmers, your livestock farmers, they are getting the feed from Iraq's milling. Like in Dr. J.S. Moroka, we've got other piggery projects and other poultry projects, Bo Lungile, and in Tembisile we've got Bo Lebus, Bo Sunrise, Bo Megilito. They are getting the feed from this rice milling. And we are also supporting these consumers or the farmers with the infrastructure, livestock training, and the market linkages. That is basically what we are implementing as a department. We are not implementing projects in isolation, all the projects that we are implementing, we are trying to link it within the agro-processing value chain. And I think we will be finalizing with the implementation of the 2 projects, Tembisile and Dr. J.S. Moroka. Then we'll move to the 4 municipalities with, again, the same agro-processing value chain. I just wanted the members to understand this value chain. Then for the projects, the planned projects for 2023-24, the first one is the Phezu Komkhomlimi. This is a food security project. Not only we are looking at these bigger projects, commercial projects, we are also looking at the food security projects, starting from the household, then you go to the subsistence, you go to the smallholder, you go to the commercials. So what we are, in the main, the objective is to improve food security. And again, we are also providing these farmers with mechanization, production inputs, and also linking them to the markets. So these are the targets for 2023-24 in terms of Phezu Komkhomlimi. In total, on the number of hectares, we will be doing 5,200. The main will be going to Tembisile, as we made ama commitments as a department after the TLP. And then again, we will be implementing our food gardens we will be establishing and maintaining our food gardens. Let me also indicate these ones. We are only providing them with working tools. These are the backyard gardens where the farmers don't have land. So we are providing them with starter pack, which consists of your wheelbarrow, your chemicals or fertilizers, your pipes and everything. Then the third indicator talks about the households supported with agricultural support initiatives. This is one initiative, again, that we are working with the Department of Social Development, where we are identifying the vulnerable, especially the SASSA beneficiaries, those ones where they've got small gardens, backyard. Abanye bakhona, we know because they don't have a lona emandi. So what we do there, we are also providing them with SFG boxes, which we normally call the smart agricultural boxes, where they can be able to plant without utilizing a lot of water. And then again, we've got, in this indicator, we are also creating some jobs through the EPWP, where we are employing people to be tractor drivers, to be site keepers, to be a lot of EPWP, but working on the Phezu Komkhomlimi program. In total, the budget that we will be the budget that we have for this program, for the 6 municipalities, I didn't break them there to say Dr. JS is so much, I just slap all of them. But these ones, in the main, we are purchasing our production inputs, we are purchasing the chemicals, we are also ensuring there are drivers, and also the issue of the mechanization. So the total budget, I think the meeting can see the total there. And then this is the breakdown of the hectares now that we'll be implementing in Nkangala. I already indicated the total is 5,210. So the chunk, as I indicated, is in Tembisile Hani, based on the fact that we've got the grain corridor. And that is where also in Tembisile you've got these farms, the capros, we call them capros, those farms that the farmers are having lease agreements with rural development. So in the main, that is where we are starting with the massification of the production. So the other municipalities, as well as Dr. J.S. Moroka, can see is following, but we will be increasing. But we're just looking at what we have as a budget. But we know sometimes they work more than what we have targeted for. So this is the budget for the total budget that I already indicated, the 22 million that will be purchasing seeds. You can see the red color is for Nkangala, that is will be purchasing seeds, fertilizers, chemicals, starter packs. and we are also indicating the delivery times on when we will be buying those production inputs, because we also noticed that our farmers were complaining a lot that we are normally purchasing the production inputs very late. So we made a commitment when we were in Tembisile that we'll start delivering early from April. But in June we'll be completing. We have already started with the procurement process of those production inputs so that our farmers, they have the production inputs in time. Then the next program is Masbuyele Esibayeni. The next program is Masbuyele Esibayeni program. This is the program where we are providing the farmers with livestock. I'm not gonna be long because next door, but I was really interested with the presentation so that whatever questions that are being asked, then they will have understood. It target here to as in Nkangala, we will be providing 24 sets of livestock. This is the type of support that we are providing, but I think the meeting, they've got the presentation, so they will read the presentation. But we have since revised the program, and now you can see in the previous years we were only providing for smallholder, and now we are also catering for the subsistence and the commercial category, because we are noting that there are those that do not have land, there are those that have umhlaba lomning, so they all of them, the categories, all of them, they need to benefit. So, and again, we also added the issue of the aquaculture. We also added the issue of the layers, because previously we didn't have the poultry. So, Gule program, we are now providing that as an assistance. So this is the criteria for the farmers to benefit from this program, which is where I think maybe our leadership, as we are here, we really need the assistance, because in the main, we need land. For us to be able to assist Emma farmers to livestock, we really need umhlaba, and which is something which is not there. And we cannot compromise with tingomo when you know very well ukuthi umhlaba usinayo. Kuba ne problem overgrazing and all these kinds of things. But I think you will, as we deliberating, then I will be explaining. So I put this slide so that the meeting can also note, since we implement in the program here too, Masbuyele Esibayeni, this is what we have achieved as a department. We have provided 84 livestock sets. When I'm talking about livestock sets, I'm not talking about 1, 2, 3. I'm talking about the levels and of the type of livestock. You can see the cattle. We have delivered already 35, bulls 13, dairy cattle we haven't, but we are moving to Steve Chote and Emakazeni to initiate one. We are also with sheep. We already delivered 8 goats. We have delivered 17 pigs. We have delivered 11. When I was talking about the issue of the climatic conditions and also what is suitable for what, I think if you look at the graph, you can see our livestock is doing much better at Emakazeni. And again, this land reform, these areas, the 4 municipalities have got land reform farms, hence they are benefiting much of the cattle. The others, then they get sort of the small stock. But when you go, again, the issue of the climate, you cannot really provide, if I said Dr. J.S. Moroka, in the main sheep, because sheep, they do well much better bulama climatic conditions that are a little bit colder. So this is a target for 2023-24 in terms of the livestock. I'm not going to mention, I think you can all see the budget and also what each municipality will be receiving this financial year. So the infrastructure development, we will be implementing Tembisile grain producers. I've already indicated in the previous slides that we are within the grain corridor. We are having two projects. We started implementing them last financial year. We are completing them this financial year. refurbishing of the maize mill in Sebrenskral, and also providing fencing on all the fields that are earmarked for the grain production. And again, we'll be providing them with the mechanization. And with Dr. J.S. Moroka as well, we'll be providing with them with the fencing, the production inputs as well. The budgets are also indicated here. This is also the schematic presentation that shows what we'll be doing when. So you can see Dr. J.S. Moroka, we will be providing them with the combine harvester, because we are not in Gutsumabalima, Lama grains, they really need to have a combine harvester. They cannot go and borrow from the commercial farmers. And in Tebisil as well, we'll be providing the same, as well as the production inputs. Then in rice milling, we are going back there. We started in 21-22, and we are completing this project where we'll be fencing off the whole project, and as well as now completing the milling structure, the facility, so that, because now previously we focused on the machineries, and now we'll be focusing on the construction of the fence as well as the milling structure. And then we've got another project in Victor Kanye, Togoza Farms. We are it's a vegetable project. We've already started. We are completing this financial year, putting some shade nets, and also I think they've completed it now. We'll be focusing on ensuring it's well fenced. And then you go to Marapiane. We are having a youth project that is doing well there. We once invited Mama Koshiwe to there to see the project. They've planted. We started the project from the start. Now they've planted, I think it's 74 hectares maize and 53 hectares sunflower. So we will be also be focusing on that project, completing it this financial year, so that then they have some hectares where they will be producing ama vegetables. And we also have Ibokaba vegetable project in Delmas, which is doing quite very well. Also, we have provided them with shade nets and a pack house, and we will be completing the project. And then we've got the excellent by Lebu in Tebisile. It's a youth project as well, where we are focusing on construction 2 times 15,000 layer houses and storeroom, and the budget are also indicated as well. The skills development and capacity building is also a part of our mandate as a department, where under the skills development and capacity building, we've got your Fortune 40 projects and also the mentorship project. With the Fortune 40 project, we have 4 actually. We've got 4 of them: the Elan Sprayed, Transport, Kogafontein, Camel Refill, Fortune 40. So this is the budget, what we'll be doing in those projects. But we also revised the strategy to ensure that labantwana nabaphuma lapha they start their own projects. So we have reserved some budget so that when they start, they've got some farms, they are able to continue with the production. Because we notice ukuthi ama stipend uma kuphela period wehamba umntwana ohlala phansi and is not gaining anything. But and I say realize the purpose yokuthi the farmer that we are building ema young farmers ukuthi babe ngama potential farmers. Then we've got the mentorship and the graduate program. This one as well, it's a program that we are implementing as a department, where we are capacitating the land reform farms. We know for sure that land reform farms, so they really need skill. And what we do then, we then get experienced farmers who provide mentorship to those projects. These are the farms that are going to be benefiting this financial year. And then we've got the graduate program. The graduate program, this is where we also assisting the unemployed graduate, which nabacetha umsebenzi place at farms, and then they are able to impact skill also on the land reform farms. Then the last one is the government nutrition program. I think I'm done now. I'm no longer going to explain all the details, but at the end, what we are aiming as a department, we are aiming this program is going to employ 230 permanent jobs, 285 temporal, 250 seasonal jobs. But it's what we will be implementing as a department. I think if we go back to the previous presentation, is the alignment of the grain corridor. So these are that food that will have been produced, processed, then is gonna be delivered to the schools and also the Department of Health through the GNP business model. This is part of the marketing so that our farmers then they don't lack in market. The participation in institutions, we are working with Department of Health and Department of Education. We've already started. We've got 10 hospitals already, providing them with food and vegetables, and also dairy. And Department of Education, we've got boarding schools in Steve Chwede and Emakhazen, where we are also providing them with. This is what is available currently, the commitment from the farmers. So this time, this model is talking about the product, getting food from our producers. So this is what is available, the Nkangala beef and pork availability, that is supplying those schools. You can see the municipality, all of them, they are participating. These are the vegetable projects that are supplying the GNP, and these are the broilers, the layers, the broilers and the layer project that are also participating in that program. So the rollout of the program, we started on the 1st of April, where Department of Education and Health is on board. So I was just mentioning that one because I think it's key. These are the key stakeholders that we are working with. I wouldn't stop before mentioning the challenges that we are normally facing. I think Lamanye Ema challenges, we know them. In the main, the issue of the land is what we are having as a challenge. But you would see four municipalities, would see there is mining encroachment on potential agricultural land. So we are losing a lot of land in these four municipalities. And then also Ngala, these two municipalities, Dr. J.S. Moroka and Tembisile, Umhlaba lomningi, Ugumahoshi, and there's also, we are losing also Umhlaba grazing, especially in Tembisile. Some of them, they are unable to benefit from programs because we cannot give you Umhlaba, support, ngana guarantee who's owning the land. So the other issues that we have with theft and vandalism of the project infrastructure, we are having serious challenges, especially in Tembisile. We invest and some of these facilities, they are being stolen. Also, not only that, I think that is a problem, a challenge all over, but I'm not going to mention the other issues because they are there on presentation. Thanks, Chairperson.
Thank you. Let's give to the National Department to present the
Thank you. Good afternoon, Honorable Mayor, and all the protocols observed. In the interest of time, I'm going to try and be as quick as I can. But what I want to outline before I proceed with the presentation, because I'm sure that most people will be confused to say, why are we here and why are they here? We are indeed the National Department of Agriculture, Land Reform and Rural Development. Our core responsibility is around land reform. Yes, we do have a responsibility on agriculture and rural development, but those responsibilities are shared with the provincial Department of Agriculture as well as the district one. But when it comes to land reform, that's our sole responsibility and mandate. So what I want to also share with you quickly is about the various programs that we are running. I've already spoken about land reform, which is made up of 3 programs, which are redistribution, restitution, as well as tenure reform. I'll try to give you the details in the next slide. Then within the programs that we are running, we offer land development support, mainly on our land reform farms that are acquired through redistribution as well as restitution. Here we are assisting these farmers with agricultural infrastructure, mechanization, and livestock. Again, this is a supplementary role to the role that the Department of Agriculture in the district and the province is playing. So we liaise with them with regard to the additional support that our farmers may need. Then we also have the shared responsibility around rural development, where we provide a socio-economic infrastructure. We revitalize existing infrastructure, and in some instances we build new infrastructure. And this is social infrastructure and economic infrastructure. I've given example in terms of the type of infrastructure that we do. We build new schools, we renovate existing ones, we refurbish roads, or we re-gravel, or we pave, or we do asphalt on those roads. We build community halls. For those who are coming from Dr. J.S. Moroka, we build a community hall at Sunotlelo. We build ECDs. We build one in Tembisi Lehani at Fontaine. I'm not sure whether it's A or B, I forgot. Yeah, but we build an ECD there. We provide housing also for our farming communities. Mayor Ngwenya will know about the agri-village that we have developed along the N4 at Parte Plus, where we provided houses, we provided water, we provided ablution facilities, we provided energy, and all these services were off-grid. The energy that we provided was solar. We do bulk infrastructure as well as reticulation. And one may ask, where are we doing this? We do this in areas where the municipality would have approached us and requested us to come and assist. We build the community walls and the ECDs in instances where the Department of Social Development, for instance, would approach us and say to us that there is this particular need, we are running short of funds. My slide is gone. Okay, yes, we built those various forms of infrastructure in collaboration with the specific departments that are responsible for those particular functions. For instance, when we went to the TLP 2 weeks ago, there was an outcry in the Dr. J.S. Moroka and Tembisi Lehani municipalities that there's a great need for community walls, there's a great need for ECGs, and I think I'm bringing this up here so that we can begin to find areas of collaboration. These are projects that we cannot initiate on our own as rural development, but they have to be initiated by the department that is going to take care of that infrastructure once it is developed. We also do economic infrastructure which are aligned to agriculture, and they have to be aligned to our agri-parks model as well as the FPSU. My colleague has already spoken to those. Then within Then we also do enterprising and cooperatives within the unit of cooperative and enterprise development. In short, is called CED. Here we are supporting primary production on communal land. I've spoken earlier on about the land development support, which is directly meant for land reform farmers. So in the communal spaces, because of the rural development mandate, we do support for primary production, because we don't have any specific packages that can benefit these people who are doing agriculture in the communal areas. Again, we are working in conjunction with our sister department in the district in terms of identifying those specific projects that needs to be supported important. And again, we need to do that in order to avoid duplications. So the support for this primary production on our farmers, the farmers should be aligned to the FPSUs. They should be registered within those specific FPSUs that have already been indicated. How we assist them is that we provide inputs, we do mechanization, we provide them with security services, we also provide them with human resource services, because if you are aware of the agri-parks model, we need to establish systems in place. We need to have farmer production support units which would have clear administrative responsibilities, and they need to be equipped with human resources in order for them to function. And so far what we are doing is that we have provided security services on those, and we have already appointed or in a process of appointing a few administrative officers or officials in those particular FPSU. We also have a youth program which is called NARSEC, National Rural Youth the National Rural Youth Service Corps, in short, is NARSEC, which is a youth flagship program for skills and character development as well as employment. I think I should have put the character development in capital letters, because while we take up this youth, what we do is that for the first 4 months of the intake, they have to go to Tabanchu, and then within the Tabanchu, they get exposed or they get taken to some sort of military training. They spend the 4 months in the military so that they build their character, and over a period of time they also develop the sense of duty and patriotism, and I think that has been the key element. And then after that they go for training in accredited institutions for a period of 12 months. So all in all, we keep them for about 16 months, and we pay them stipends. We also have a section that deals with deeds registry, where we register all the deeds in terms in the country, every property, every house in the township, in the villages, everywhere where there is a property that has to be registered, it's with us within the deeds registry. We register servitudes also within the deeds registry. We also keep copies of the antenuptial contracts. We keep copies of the mortgage bonds. When you take out a loan to build a house, that information is endorsed on the deeds registry within the province. We have a SPLUM unit, the Special Planning and Land Use Management, which is responsible for SPLUMA. I'm sure all the municipalities, you are aware and you have interacted with this unit as they were assisting you with development of some of the land use plans and all the special planning related information. Through this unit, they also assist us with mapping, and they have also developed a tool that we are using for identification of strategically located land. We also have the Office of the Surveyor General, which is responsible for all the surveys. They do survey diagrams, they approve, they register those surveys. They do land packings, especially in instances where there are boundary disputes on the lands. We rely on them to come and assist us in identifying the packs that were there to demarcate. Then we also have a unit of the Office of the Valuer General, which is responsible for all the valuation. The OVG came into existence after a long outcry with regard to the inflated and suspected collusions on land prices. Hence, we had to have the OVG to assist in moderating the land prices. So in terms of land reform, I wouldn't really want to go into the details. Under redistribution, we acquire land and we allocate. In our allocation, our target is women and youth and people with disability. We also have a program of restitution where people who have lodged claim before 1998 are being assisted with regard to getting their land back. We have tenure reform where we're focusing on farm dwellers, on labor tenants. We're focusing on CPAs. We're focusing on tenure upgrading, which takes a number of forms. In some instances, we do titles as adjustment, which is part of tenure. And then we also do agri-villages, as I've stated. Then we also have a component that is responsible for state land management, which include your plus properties as well as the Capros properties. And we also do commercial leases as well as servitudes. So these are our projects for the 2023-2024 financial years. I don't want to read through all of them, but on this slide, we are looking at land development projects where these farmers on Calabasfontein and Klipspruit are being targeted for support, and the amount of budget is indicated there. This is also LDS, or Land Development Support Continuing. It's Ellen Street Farm and Bonderdansville Farm, and the name of the CPA is also included there. We also assisting through the same program, Dorenkop CPA, where we will be building some broilers and other infrastructure, the Magedula and Edamini CPA. Those will be benefiting this financial year under the land development support. For land acquisition, or the strategic land acquisition, we have 2 farms that we are targeting to purchase in this financial year, and the details are there. All these farms are in the Emakazeni area. Then through our CED component, we are assisting the farmers with production. We are targeting to be assisting the Nukaning Cotton Project at Dr. J.S. Moroka. Camille Refir FPSU, we continue to support them, as well as the Sebrandskral FPSU. I've indicated the monies that we will be spending, and I forgot to speak to the issue around the targeted subcontractors. When we support these farmers, we utilize commodity organization in terms of sourcing of whatever needs that the farmers have. For instance, if they want cattle, we go to NEPRO. NERPO, sorry, yes. Yeah. Then under the NARISEC program, we have recruited 25 youth who are coming from the Emalahleni area. Recruitment, I think it started late last year, and the final appointment happened prior to the end of the financial year. That is the end of March this financial year. So these youth will be trained under on security-related functions. They will be absorbed by Bitcoin. I think I need to explain why it is like that. Previously, we've been recruiting young people, and after the term, the 18 months term, you find that they are not employed anywhere. So now, before we employ them, we need to have a service level agreement with an institution that will absorb them afterwards. So for the security, Bitcoin will absorb. In the next financial year, we will be training the ones in mechanics, automotive, motor mechanic, and they will be absorbed by the Hatfield Fort. We've got 3 projects of title adjustments in the Dr. J.S. Moroka Municipality, where the communities of Dipperton and Rooifontein and Kachibane have approached us. These are the descendants of the families who have purchased land some donkey years ago, and that land could not be registered in their name, as you are aware of the land dynamics and the history of the country. And now those descendants are wanting that land. Now it's our responsibility to assist them in terms of adjusting those titles. We are, as we are speaking, appointing title adjustment commissioners. As we're sitting here, the bid specification committee is sitting in order to appoint those service providers to assist the communities. So I've mentioned that we assist farm dwellers. We will be acquiring these pieces of farms for settlement of farm dwellers as well as labor tenants. I won't go through each one of them. I'll just scroll through. This will be happening in various municipalities. You will notice that in the presentation, you will find that there is Govan Mbeki. The reason why you're seeing it here is because this would be a farm which is in the cross-border between us and the other district. Hence, we are the ones who are working on those kind of projects. Then on rural infrastructure development, I have not specified specific projects because we need to collaborate with our sister department to assist us in terms of identifying the socio-economic infrastructure that we can assist. Our intention is that this year we need to engage in planning and the design for this particular project. We also intend to build or to assist our farmers in the GAPROS units with infrastructure, and we will also be finalizing outstanding leases. We are sitting with about 210 outstanding leases, and out of these 210, 180 are coming from the Tembisi-Lehane local municipalities. Again, challenges are everywhere, but for me, I just want to highlight the challenge with regard to the land prices, especially in the maize belt along the N4 and in the Delmas area, where the lands are quite expensive because the production is specialized. Delmas is mainly chicken farms and they are quite costly, and the maize belt, those farms are non-affordable and they also don't seem to be available. We'll never find them in the market. Then in the Amakazani area, the biggest challenge that we're having is that most of the farms that we buy, they've got a tourism component, and within the department, we're not supporting any tourism. And even the farmers that we are allocating those particular properties, they are not skilled when it comes to areas of tourism. There's conflicting land uses. I think Sylvia spoke about the issues around mining, the issue around establishment of human settlements. And I'm mentioning this because they are competing with agricultural production. When we take highly agricultural productive land and we build houses, oh my goodness, yeah, it means that the food production will be affected and people loses jobs and all those kind of challenges. Then there's also the issue around land invasions. There's issues around the release of state land where we need to collaborate with the local municipality. We need to improve on our intergovernmental relations, especially on the farms in the Tembisi-Lehane area and Dr. J.S. Moroka, where you will find that there is infrastructure that is built by the municipality on this farm, and there has not been any engagements with the department. Again, we've got a big challenge in those two municipalities because of the emerging traditional leaders who affect the land uses there. There's a lot of illegal sand mining activities. When you investigate, they tell you that they've been given permission by a certain chief. When you go to Kokta, you check, this particular chief is not approved with regard to the requirements, or they don't meet the requirements with regard to Kokta. So those are the issues that we are experiencing. I've already spoken about the renewal of leases. We have a plan to complete those by the end of this financial year. And of course, there are criminal activities that we are aware of that are taking place on some of our farms. Hence, there's a need for us to work closely with the police. And these issues relate to illegal mining as well as stock theft. And I think the challenge my colleague has spoken to, so I wouldn't repeat. Thank you.
Thank you. Colleagues from MEGA and Department of Health, you can come forward. Please, colleague, jump the preambles and just shoot straight to your programs and projects. Thank you.
Good afternoon, colleagues. Good afternoon to the Honorable Mayor and all protocol observed. So my name is Gugulethu Mkhize. I will be representing MEGA on this platform. My presentation will touch on the background for MEGA, and then I will also discuss the mandate I will then touch on the business loans and the agricultural loans that are offered by MEGA. I will then discuss the minimum requirements in terms of the SMME and agricultural loans. I will discuss the housing finance available through MEGA, and then I will touch on the budget for funding for the 2023-2024 financial year. And then lastly, I will deal with the Mpumalanga Youth Development Fund. MEGA is the official economic development agency for the province, established in terms of the Mpumalanga Economic Growth Agency Act number 1 of 2010. It is a merger of the former agencies, so it's a merger between MEGA, the Mpumalanga Agricultural Development Corporation, as well as the MHF Co. MEGA owns 3 industrial parks, mainly in Ikandastra, Kabokwenu, and Elukwatini. The role of MEGA in terms of the mandate is to promote sustainable growth and development in the province of Mpumalanga by providing funding in respect of property, enterprises, and agricultural development. MEGA is also responsible for developing property, including the granting of housing loans, delivering massive infrastructure in Mpumalanga, as well as promoting foreign trade and investment. In terms of the business loans that are offered by MEGA, the products range from term and seasonal loans, bridging finance loans, as well as equity finance. Repayment periods vary from 5 years up to 8 years for primary agriculture, and the loan sizes vary from 50,000 and above. MEGA targets both start-up as well as businesses that are looking to expand their operations. The purposes of the loans are mainly for equipment finance, the purchasing of stock, as well as working capital requirements for the business. MEGA is also responsible for funding agricultural development in the province. We do this by assisting growth and development of emerging as well as commercial farmers and agricultural co-op. MEGA provides financial and non-financial support to farmers, agribusinesses, as well as the co-ops. The targets in terms of the funding includes both fisheries and forestry, as well as vegetable and livestock production. The assistance ranges from primary agriculture, as well as agro-processing, as well as linking the farmers in terms of the market. As I've indicated, in terms of the financial support in the agricultural loans, we do assist SMMEs with crop funding, livestock production, poultry farming, piggery production, as well as bridging loans. Housing finance is one of the other products that MEGA offers, and we provide access to affordable houses as well as facilitate access to home ownership through the provision of finance to qualifying Mpumalanga citizens. The purpose of the housing finance would be to build, in terms of a building loan, the purchase of vacant stands, house improvements, that is extensions and renovations, the purchase of an existing house. The loan sizes, in terms of the housing finance, go up to 1.5 million, subject to affordability. The 2023-2024 funding budget for MEGA, for the housing finance, the budget is 6.21 million, and for SMME finance, it's 3.07 million. So the total in terms of the budget for funding is 9.28 million. MEGA is also responsible for the disbursement of the Mpumalanga Youth Development Fund through the Office of the Premier. And the main purpose of the fund is to increase opportunities for young people in terms of entrepreneurship, as well as to create employment for the province. So in terms of the approvals under the MYDF, which is the Mpumalanga Youth Development Fund, for the 2021-22 financial year, 60 beneficiaries were approved for the grant funding, which equated to 82 million. In the 2022-2023 budget, 29 beneficiaries benefited from the fund, with a total amount approved of 59 million. For the 2023-2024 budget, the applications were closed on the 24th of February. So once we have the list of the approved beneficiaries, we will then be in a position to disperse the fund on behalf of the OTP. MEGA also offers non-financial support to SMMEs, which includes business consulting services, as well as facilitating market linkages and providing post-investment support to all businesses that are funded by MEGA, as well as the beneficiaries of the MYDF. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Let me take this opportunity and greet our Honorable Mayor and all the executive mayors around, protocol observed. Colleagues, I'm going to shoot straight into the presentation. We are going to cover 6 municipalities. The only municipality currently which is not covered in terms of our infrastructure is Makazeni. But Mayor Ngwenya is here. We worked together a long time ago about the increase in the hospital. And I hope the project will still go on. But in terms of the current projects which are there, we have got Dr. J.S. Mroka. There is a Pankop CHC, which has now been completed, 19 million. The project is completed and it's currently being occupied. We also are going to construct the maternity ward. We are now finished in terms of the tender, the specifications, the planning. So we're just waiting that the instruction will come, and then we start, as we've just started our new financial year. We have got Mamihlake Hospital, which was under phase 3. We've been reporting all the phases. Currently, the hospital is almost finished. We know that because it has been delayed, the contractor is on penalties because he was supposed to have finished it, but they are just doing some minor alterations which are there, like the dental department, which does not have enough pressure. They are putting in those, but they are on penalties. Otherwise, everything has been almost finished. We are at 95%. We are also saying there is a new construction which is coming, Troya Clinic. Those who are from Dr. J.S. Mroka, you know Troya Clinic is so small and you know all the cracks which are there. We have received the approval for the clinical brief from the Department of Health. The drawings have been done from the Department of Health because they want to standardize all the clinics in terms of the construction. So we have received those. We are just waiting that it goes on tender and then the building will start. Again, Siabuswa, the community of Siabuswa also have been complaining about the Siabuswa CHC, which has been small. It has now been planned, 12 million have been put aside to upgrade that CHC again. We go to Tebisilehani. Kwamhlanga Hospital, we are upgrading the hospital now to have a maternity unit, a better maternity unit. psychiatric unit at the hospital. 64 million has been put aside. Also because it's national has to approve in terms of the plans, so that the plans are aligned to all the plans within the country. We have received that. The mental health project will also start as soon as the peer reviews have been done to say, yes, the plans are in line with all the facilities in the country. Again, KwaMhlanga, we had an IBT structure, that small structure when you go to the back of the hospital, which has been completed and is currently occupied. We did that for the tune of 10 million. These are the 23-24 projects for KwaMhlanga, for Tembisilani. It will be Muloto, CHC will be finalizing the capital maintenance. These are just small projects which will be the maintenance and refurb projects. It's Muloto CHC, Pokenwo Clinic, Vesobuhle, and KwaMhlanga Hospital. These are just the minor refurbishment which will be done. Steve Chwete, Middleburg Hospital, which has been going on for years now. We are at 85%. Last night we had a meeting after we have sent this report. The bulk, we are now told that they will finish by December because they have started with the bulk supply, which the contractor has started with it. So we are just hoping that it will ultimately come to fruition. So, like I said, the construction of the bulk services has just started because that was it's another contract altogether. It's not attached to ENSA. We have got Rockdale Clinic, which has been completed and is being utilized by the community around Rockdale, but it was a donated structure from South 32. We are also planning to have a new clinic. I heard in the morning about the integrated human settlement, which was mentioned that there will be a settlement which will be done at Ritgale. We are part of that in terms of the clinic, so that as they build, then the clinic will also be there. It's by Exaro. Then we have got Newtown Clinic, which is still at the planning and design stage, because the clinic is very small and at Newtown. Emalahleni is the Witbank Hospital. We have got the current hospital, which is being renovated, but we also know that we have got the tertiary hospital, which is coming, which is Lena Malaji Hospital, which is coming. Currently, we are told that the hospital will be starting to be built in June this year. The design and everything has been done, and the project will start in June this year, Lena Malaji. Then we have got Impungwe Mental Health Hospital. We don't have a mental health hospital in the province. So Impungwe 1, it has been assessed. The Volvakrans, the old Volvakrans hospital has been assessed, but it was found that the land is too small. There is a farm in Kromdrai, R555 Road, where the impact assessment is being done for the building of the mental health hospital. Paula CHC is completed and is operational. Forsman or Smobile is completed and is operational. In Victor Kanye, there is Woodling Extension 6, which has been completed. We are just awaiting a handover of the property. It was also through the donation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Speaker. I will give back to you. We concluded with our presentations.
Thank you, Mr. Manganyi and the team. We now know that time is a luxury that we don't have. There's a view that we want to test with the plenary. If it is agreed, it's fine. If it's not, myself as the chair of the meeting, I won't die. Is that questions and the comments that you have, they don't fundamentally differ with those that were raised in the morning. more or less the same. And if that is the case, it means that these presenters have got an idea as to what is it that we want as the district. And if we are agreeing, then we'll deal with the three last items, which is the MM, executive mayor, and the chief whip. So basically, that is what we want to test with you. But if you think there's something fundamental that we want to raise, we are Democrats. Okay, there's a hand here. And there's another hand here. Okay, there's another one there. We've got 3 hands. Comfortable ukala kuphi? Ukala ngendaba ezinto. Okay. Yeah, nangirobi phela. Nangathatha advantage ukuthi I've been a very good chair. I said there are 3 hands. Ngavele ezinye phela. Yeah. Asenze njalo. Number 1, number 2, number 3.
Thank you, Speaker. I think I will be very succinct, and thank you for your patience. I just have a few questions and comments, particularly on the MEGA and MOIDF. So earlier when there was a presentation from Human Settlement, we realized that there was awarded contracts already. So what I want to ascertain is that on the database of MEGA, MOIDF, all the companies that they empower, is there any other small business that was awarded lucrative contract, be it on a subcontract level and so forth, as to empower them, as to empower small businesses as a result of that? Earlier, the Chief Financial Officer did mention an issue of 80-20, whereas there was a criteria that was applied. Amongst them was an issue of disabled people, youth, and all of that in terms of criteria that are being applied in procurement of different services. As a result, I want to ascertain how many young, do we have at this point in time a number of youthful companies that were awarded anything there as a result? Mr. Prince said something before he spoke. He mentioned the issue of immediate environment. You look at China, they do a year, they do 6,000 miles, which equates to 9,600 nationally in terms of infrastructure development, roads, and all of that. And I think it's very important that even in our district, we are able to execute such things that are very key for our own sake. Because you had the Chief Whip mention an issue of a contractor that was coming from another province being appointed, a huge amount, over 100 million, and there's an appointment. And amongst that, critical question is this: how do you empower young people in those kind of spaces? And I'm not trying to exaggerate youth in this instance. I'm not trying to or grandstand with the issue of youth. I'll make a typical example. If you are acquainted with construction, you'll understand that when it comes to appointments, there are certain CIDB levels that go to 7, 6, and so forth. But in order for you to get there, you must have been a subcontractor somewhere and start somewhere so that the levels go up. And that's how you empower young people. And today you are finding a situation where we are looking at our seniors and our leaders like you with suspicion that it looks like now we don't want to be empowered by them. I always say when I meet with national leaders and everyone to say, elders have wisdom and young people have energy. And as black people, we can do collaborate when it comes to these things. If you give me your wisdom and I give you my energy, we can achieve a lot of great things. And as a result, those are some of the issues that I actually wanted to raise. Our Department of, I think, Road and Public Works and everything, I mean, they have 69 million, 84 million, 90 million of those routes that we are talking about. But look at China, it does 9,656 roads, like kilometers. And we are unable to do 30 kilometers, but we have 300 million that is going to a contract. And when you check there, we don't even have an authentic audit that suggests that, okay, these are the people that were empowered. They moved from having an average, let me say, assets of 500,000 to 10 million. And as a result, we have empowered these particular people. You need the state to be empowered, whether you like it or not. There's no country that was empowered, individual people were empowered without the state's intervention. Even the things that we are wearing now, we are finding ourselves in situations where this MFMA and PFMA, also some of these things, I call them legal extortion, and not to become political or anything like that. It's like we are enacting laws that are economically secluding black people. And we are finding ourselves in situations where we are demanding historically disadvantaged individuals to attain to things that are practically impossible. You can't parachute me from level 1 of CIDB general building to level 7. How are you going to do that if I can't just get a mere road subcontract that I'm supposed to fix, that the chief has spoken about? Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Chabiso Kutumela again. Honorable Speaker, I just want to find out how best can we access these presentations from the departments that we are interested in. And secondly, we are requesting as SMMEs for a protection from the district. We are actually begging from the district to protect us SMMEs. Don't allow these contractors to take a whole chunk of money and leave our district empty-handed. Please consider us and make sure that you benefit in each and every project that the contractors are awarded. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. No, thank you, Honorable Speaker, and afternoon, Honorable Mayor, and all the Honorable Mayors present, and every stakeholder that is here, Nabonda visit. Mina just bengifuna ukubuza i-department le-land, ukuthi le-agriculture, ukuthi ngiyezwa there's programs they're mentioning that they do support and they do have. But I would like to know, those that are into cannabis farming, how best can they assist them? And secondly, those that are into cannabis farming, how best can they assist them as a department to align with the criteria that is needed to be registered and to comply nomthetho lo we-health if you are into cannabis farming? And then the second one is for Umamkize lapha ukuthi i-Mega, what support can they offer to SMMEs exporting to foreign countries ukuthi bangalimazwa ilama SARS customs? Yabo.
Thank you very much. As the second speaker, to those who were part of administrative arrangements, our attendance registers, they have a space for email address. We do. And all of us, we have inserted the email addresses, right? No, that it's a comment or it's a question. It's important so that we must get the presentation and continue to engage the departments and the district on the basis of the information that they gave us. You saw the Chief Whip, the manner in which he dealt with the issue of public works. So we want us to do it like that. If we have not yet signed the attendance register, please let's make sure that we sign it with all the necessary information. We will not invite the departments to present or to respond to our questions and the comments. We know how we will want to handle them. The municipal manager and the executive mayor, they are here. They know that after this session, they'll have to have a debriefing and their own meetings, so that whatever that we do finally, if the need will arise with their wisdom, they will call individual departments. We know now that the Department of Public Works has been called publicly, say they must make those arrangements. So basically that is how we will handle those issues. Some of them, because we are here ourselves as councillors, as we interact with you, we will definitely attend to those issues. We are at a point where we will, and I'm happy that you agree with me, we are at a point where we will allow the Nkangala District Municipality to deal with the item of resolutions, and then immediately after that, our executive mayor will do the closing remarks and the way forward. Then the Honorable Chief Whip is the one who will close the meeting for us.
Thank you very much, Speaker. We'll just go straight to the resolutions. The first one is that the finalization and implementation of the IDP and the budget must take the DDM approach, where we see all sector departments, private sectors and stakeholders working jointly in implementation and monitoring of the IDP and budget and all other programs. And then the second one is that the district need to upscale the LED roadshows to make sure that we reach all areas in the district. Then followed by a resolution that says that all sector departments must join the district and local municipalities in all activities when it comes to consultation of communities and stakeholders. And then the other one is that all sector departments must submit and present their programs and projects and consult with local municipalities and tribal authorities wherever that they are implementing their project and program in their respective spaces. And then there was also a resolution that we need ecosystems in terms of the officials who attend the municipal and district meetings or events, so that we can show continuity. There was also a resolution that we must make sure that when we implement our project and program, we make sure that they are of high quality standard. And then there's also a resolution that traditional leadership should also be part of developing the plans. They should not only become at a stage where we have to criticize or critique the plans. And then the last one is that there must be a meeting between NDM and Public Works before or by 27 April 2023 to get all the programs and projects for 2023-2024 that the MEC is currently finalizing. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I hope at a strategic level we're fine. If there are one or two issues that we will want to raise, Mr. Mangani is the one who will be collating the information. And I saw earlier the address or addresses that were expected to continue, yes, these ones, to make our submissions. So let us do that. The due date, it is said, is 21st of April 2023. Honorable Executive Mayor, we have been here since in the morning. You gave us the keynote address. A number of departments made a presentation. We are at a point where we will have to give us a way forward. Honorable Executive Mayor.
Thank you so much, Honourable Speaker. Let me take this opportunity once again, greet you towards the closure, Honourable Speaker. The executive mayors present today here, the NDM Council Whip, Ubaba Kushoman, and other councillors or council whips from local municipalities, the members of the mayoral committee of the district, as well as those that are coming from local municipalities, the chairperson of MPEC, Councillor Mem Timonye, the chairperson of Section 79 of the district, Ms. Kosana, the municipal manager, and other municipal managers from local municipalities, the general managers of NDM and directors from sector department, the CEO and managers of private sector, the chairperson of the audit committee, Mefigile Mutau, and the chairperson of the risk management, anti-fraud and corruption in the district, and Tate Trevor Boltman, Makosi that are present here, and City Bayet and a visit, and all the business sector and the SMMs that were invited into this meeting. Let me take this opportunity to appreciate and acknowledge the commitment and high level of discipline that has been displayed in this meeting. The presentation from different sector department and participation thereof gives us confidence that indeed we are intensifying our strategy. Our Speaker, the IDP budget process are regulated in terms of the Municipal Systems Act number 32 of 2000 and the Municipal Finance Management Act number 56 of 2023. This is to ensure certain minimum quality standards of integrated development planning and budget processes and proper coordination between and within the spheres of government. Yes, it was the most tiresome packed program that drained all of us physically, intellectually, in order for us to plan for projects that will have a huge impact on service delivery to our community needs. Honourable Speaker, the successful implementation of our integrated development process and budget requires us to plan properly, effectively, and steer a process that can improve the lives of our people. It is therefore correct, Honourable Speaker, that the direction we're taking, that we want to put also emphasis that the district must develop the district forums for us to be able to implement our project properly and have proper engagement with the stakeholders. And this will assist not only in paper, but in making sure that we create an impactful environment and for all sectors as well as local municipalities to be able to implement their IDPs. During the 2019 and 2020 financial year, His Excellency the President, Cyril Matamela Ramaphosa, introduced a district development model. Districts are therefore required to take a leading role in the development of their regions or district by ensuring that there is one plan that will integrate programs of national, province, and local government sectors as well as private sector.
This will go a long way in ensuring that development impact can be measured and that the resources are not duplicated. Honourable Speaker, I must reiterate that in this district of Nkangala, there will be no project that will be implemented which it has not been presented in this budget Indaba or in any local municipalities IDPs. As there is the need for us to be innovative or develop an innovative approach to deliver services. And it is quite imperative, hence a central planning is important to ensure that the budget that is allocated to the right project and that budget is spent on an impactful projects. And in relation to funding our project, Nkangala District Municipality alone cannot mobilize enough resources to fund all projects. A partnership with the private sector and the sector departments is necessary for us to be able to meet the target that we're setting ourselves. Our funding approach needs to be balanced. There is a need for an increasing programs in rural municipalities such as Tebisileani, as well as Dr. J.S. Moroka. Programs that can have a positive impact in our communities. And in summary, the following areas are